Hello and welcome back to another episode of TU Stories. I'm your host, Adrian Battle Marston, and today we've got two special guests here. I'm actually going to let them introduce themselves as opposed to me doing it. So we'll start off with my friend here and then you'll pass it off to your sister.
Okay, my name is Chloe Harvey. I'm actually a Towson alum. I graduated in the spring of 2021 with a theater degree, and I did minor in creative writing as well.
Hi, my name is Kaylah Harvey. I'm an EMF major at Towson right now, and I'm minoring in theater studies.
So you guys, you've become somewhat of a big deal in the last couple of months or so. You're probably going to be like, no, we're not. Y'all are a big deal, honestly.
Oh,
wow.
It's pretty impressive what you got going on.
thank you.
Thank you.
So, for those of you that don't know, Chloe and Kaylah, your family's got some rich history.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So, walk us through what that is exactly for people who may not know that are listening right now.
Okay, so in 1991, our parents, David and Tanya Harvey, created a non-political African-American flag to be the focal point for Lift Every Voice and Sing.
Yeah, it was created in Baltimore, and it was flown all over the country at different schools, businesses, and churches. It's currently flying still at Morgan State University on the football field. Coppin State University also has it on their campus, and now you can see it at a few locations on Towson's campus. You can see it right now currently on display in the Center for the Arts in the theater area.
Yeah. So, you've sort of taken that history, that story, and you've turned it into a play. Now, that's going to be happening next month, correct?
Yes.
So, what those dates were March
2nd, 3rd, and 4th here at Towson, and then the production is actually in collaboration with Morgan State University as well. So the following week, on the 9th and the 10th, you can go to Morgan and see the same show.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. So there's a bit of a history here that I don't think a lot of people, at least on Towson, they probably don't know. And you all decided to sort of turn this into a play for people to sort of experience what the making of all of this was. Walk us through the beginning stages of this here. How did this start? We got to go way back to the beginning.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess it starts in the fall of 2020 when I was going to my last advising meeting where I thought I was just going to get my approval to graduate. Yeah. And instead, my advisor told me, looks like we're missing one credit. What are we going to do? And I was like, how is that possible? I thought that I was good to go. I really did. And I still don't know why a credit was missing and how we could have miscalculated that. But it's fine. It worked out. So we decided that we would do an independent study where I would just collect some research on anything I wanted to do. Like a research project. And I said, well, my family has this flag that's been on my mind a lot. I've always wanted to figure out what I could do with that. And I had been studying playwriting at the time. So I was like, maybe I can write a simple informational one-act play about what the flag is just to get the information out there.
Yeah.
And that's when it kind of turned into a bigger thing, and we unloaded we discovered so much history and so much meaning behind the flag and our parents' legacy, and we were like, oh wow, this is bigger than just the information. This is emotional. This is for the community to learn about their history and connect, and to bring this into a new generation, because it was lost history. Somebody said it's like lost history. It was like discovering something like magic. So I'm really excited about what this play is going to open up and the conversations that this play is going to start. You want to?
Yeah. So during Chloe's
independent
study.
study?
Yeah, during your independent study, I started to join in when she started to gather emotional research. Mm-hmm. And so while looking for the emotional research, we found videotapes of our father. And our father passed in 2002. So when Chloe was two. When Chloe was 2 and before I was even born yet. And so to see our father in home videos, like for the first time ever, like seeing him laughing and smiling, just like being himself, that was really mind-blowing for us. We had never heard stories about him really growing up. We heard, oh, your father was such a great man. Oh, he was a nice guy. And it's like, yeah, that's nice to know. But
there's no personality there.
Yeah, there was we didn't really get to see who he really was until we saw the videos. And that was really special.
Yeah, and that's what kind of changed the play from this kind of informational piece to this like emotional piece about family and how to love people and how to be there for each other and community and things like that. So the play does definitely still have some information. You get to see the process of our parents creating the flag. You get to see our process of us creating the play kind of paralleling that.
Yeah.
But there's still like a lot of heart within it because that's really what the flag is about.
Yeah.
So we went from a miscalculation of credits to y'all finding history, not just about your family, but like about Black people for the most part.
Yeah.
And I mean, your father passes away like early 2000s. So it's not like we've got like iPhones lying around.
Exactly.
With like recorded videos or you can sort of save it on like an iCloud or something. What was that like for y'all? Because you're almost sort of being introduced to a stranger, for lack of better words, because you don't really know this person to that full extent. What's that like for y'all once you sort of first start watching those videos of like your dad?
It was like an emotional roller coaster for us. There was a lot of frustration at first about
Really?
I can't believe that all this information was hidden. I can't believe that our family had these videotapes in the attic
Just
and
sitting.
we knew nothing about them.
Yeah.
We didn't even know you guys owned a camera that you
Right.
could that we had home videos at all. So it was like I can't believe we didn't know all of this. We were frustrated and then we were so grateful that we had it now.
Yeah.
So there's lots of highs and lows. We felt like it would have been so amazing to experience this firsthand, but still a deep appreciation for the fact that we got to connect with him on a more spiritual level. And he's not here, but we can still feel him more. We didn't really. Ooh, it sounds kind of bad, but we didn't really think about him that much, and now we think about him every day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you've got this history here with this flag. When was this created? And maybe walk us through your parents' progress, their journey in sort of conceptualizing it, bringing it to life, and how does it sort of gain some traction around some schools that are sort of honoring it now.
So when they were creating the flag, they didn't want just like pretty colors and just like random shapes on it. They wanted the whole flag to have meaning behind it. And so if you look at the flag, you see that there's a red, white, and blue border around it, and that represents our role as African Americans in America, the role that we play and will continue to play in America. And you see the purple base, which represents our regal history in Africa and our ancestors. And then you see the black stripe, which represents our closeness to our ancestry and to that past that we come from.
Yeah.
And then you see the gold stripe, which represents the riches of Africa, and then the green stripe, which represents abundant life in Africa, and then you have the black star in the middle, which goes with the theme of the flag, that black stars can shine too. And there are rays of light radiating off of this flag, which represent what radiates off of us as African Americans, which is love, perseverance, knowledge, and spirituality. And so when you put all that together, it's like just like a big bundle. It's just like a representation of Black excellence to me.
Yeah.
And so I feel like a lot of people resonate with that, just this mindset of wanting to be great, wanting to be better.
And I also would say, like, to be seen and appreciated for Black excellence. There's also that star in the middle has an acronym, which is Africans, and it stands for aspirations, family, righteousness, individuality, community, ability, nobility, and scholarship, which were important principles to our parents that they wanted all of the African American community to like adapt to, so that we can have this collective mindset that Black stars can shine too, that we are great, that we should be there for each other, that each individual one of us matters, and that what we bring to the table is enough. Yeah.
So your parents, they come up with all of this. That's pretty incredible.
And they put all the pieces together into this beautiful symbol.
Of Black culture.
Yeah.
So you're putting this play together that sort of encapsulates the spirit of this story. What's it like writing the script? Because you're sort of mentioning there's the educational component, but there's also the emotional side that really tells a much deeper story. What's this like here? Are you like who's writing who? Who's writing what? Who's writing the jokes? Who's writing the sad scenes?
Yeah. Well, it's kind of funny because the script started to assemble itself on its own. Like, in conversation with our family members, just about like a house school kid, we were like, well, we're working on this project. We're learning about our dad. And then people be like, it's so amazing. It's about time people would start talking about your dad. And we were like, wait a second. These conversations are getting really deep. Can we record them?
Yeah.
And then we started using the lines that people were saying about who our father was and what he meant to them, and who our mother was and what she meant to them. And we were like, this is the play. This is the story. It's these experiences. And one of our cousins even said it himself. He was like, the flag to me was just everything that your father represented, the way he carried himself. That's just what the flag is to me. And I think that that's kind of captured in the play as well. It's more than the flag. It's like how you use it to show that's who you are.
Yeah, definitely. And so, because of all the interviews that we did, a lot of the play, a good chunk of the play is verbatim. And so that was really cool, seeing how that all would like tie in together to make the whole play. And for scenes like our parents, David and Tanya, creating the flag, we literally asked our mother, we were like, what were y'all doing like when you were doing this? Like, how did y'all start creating it? And she would give us a little bit of insight on that, and we would write based off of what she was telling us.
But those videos really helped a lot, because we got a sense for like how he behaved, how he carried himself, his speech patterns and things like that. Like, he was a very fast talker, and he would like kind of fill his sentences with like, you feel me, you know what I mean, in between. So we definitely used some of that to incorporate into the way that we were writing his character, so that it felt more authentic to the people who actually knew him, because so many people knew this man. And he was a very, very social person. So when people come to the play and they're like, that was your father, you captured him. It's like, yes, we did it.
So we've talked a little bit about this on the side, and we'll get to your mom in a second, because you all have said some things that I think are pretty important for people to know. But what was this entire sort of pre-production process like for your family, the people who knew him? And you know, there's some tragedy here, that there's some wounds, you know. And how is this play interacting with like some sadness here? You know, what's it like for your family to sort of be a part of that process and sort of bringing your father back to life here?
I think it was really cathartic for them, honestly, because after our father passed, people, they just kind of stopped talking about him. It was a really hard loss for a lot of people, because he's like touched so many lives, and he really meant a lot to like this really big community, so to see like him just be gone like randomly, because he wasn't sick. Right. There wasn't like, they didn't see it coming. He just died.
He had a massive heart attack at age 36, and it was random, like you said.
Yeah.
And still,
and to die so young is really shocking. And so I just think people stopped talking about it because it was too hard to talk about.
Yeah.
And so when we started bringing up questions like, who was our father, and like, what did he act like, and stuff like that, people were really happy that we started these conversations with them. And they were kind of like waiting, like our cousin said. He was like, I've been waiting for somebody to talk about Uncle David. Like, I'm ready for this conversation. Like, let's go. And we were like, oh, okay. So,
that's interesting. Because there's an eagerness to talk about it, but also some hesitancy. Like, I want to, but I don't want to be the one to start it. You know?
Yeah, it's like it was a touchy subject. Yeah. It was like people felt like they weren't allowed to say the way that they truly felt. And especially, I think, because our cousins were kids. Like, they were maybe like between the ages of like 9 and like 15, 16 when he passed away. So they kind of grew up feeling like they had to stay in the child's place based on like what happened next. The man that our mother married next is kind of like part of the reason why the family kind of was like, okay, I think it's time to take a step back, because it wasn't the same energy. It wasn't the same family kind of like
lightheartedness.
I'm trying to, lightheartedness, but it wasn't the same community that that our father was building, and there was this like tension, I think, that nobody knew how to address. And so everybody just kind of went on their own paths of healing. But I think now this is kind of offering them a place and like a way to just relive it in a sense and come to terms with how they felt then and how they feel now.
Yeah.
It's like a talking point, because now they can say, that play was, I needed that play. Or that play was, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you both mentioned your mom, and she probably has the most face-to-face interaction with your dad throughout this entire process. What was that like for her when you sort of first introduced this idea to her? When you said like, hey, I think we're going to do this play. What's her first reaction?
Ooh, I don't know. I think she was just like, okay. Like, not really understand. Like, not being able to conceptualize, like, that we're actually, like, low-key, like, bringing our father back to life on the stage. And, I feel like she didn't really get it.
Because she was really excited. You know, she was really excited. She was like, sounds great. Because she believes in us so much. So she's like, write a play. You can do it. I believe in you. Sounds great. But when she got to our very first reading, and she was like, oh my, I need some tissues. That's when I think it really hit her of like what this play really is. How it is really like us digging up history and like putting it on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you mentioned the healing process for your family. I mean, what was that like for your mom? That you probably noticed, I should say.
I definitely have seen her start to open up more and to offer more stories, more emotional support about how we're feeling about, not having a father growing up. So I think it's helping her move forward in a sense.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like, and it's really nice on like our end to like just keep receiving these stories, because although the play is like written, like this is still our lives. I love hearing.
Oh, they're still coming.
Yeah, they're still coming. Like, it'll just be really random. She'll be like, that reminds me of something your father did. I'll be like, what? What did you do?
Where's the recording? Let me get that.
Yeah. And now it's like we can see him doing that, or we can even like be like, I feel like our father would have found this funny. Yeah. When we're watching TV,
we know him now.
Yeah.
It kind of sounds like, this may sound like cliche. It's giving y'all like missed opportunity
Mm-hmm.
that like you kind of missed out on due to this tragedy, you know?
Yeah.
And like your mom, it kind of sounds like there's like a refound joy. You know, she's telling these stories that I'm assuming prior to this, you probably weren't getting, at least to this volume, maybe.
Yeah. The most we would get was like, you look just like your father.
Yeah.
Or like, you're silly just like your father. But like, how was he silly? What kind of jokes did he tell? What did he used to do?
Yeah.
So now we know details. Yeah.
So we're a few weeks away. How are we feeling?
I'm really excited.
Yeah.
I know it's gonna be really big. And I'm just really excited for people to know what the flag is now and to have like the emotional connection to it. I think that hopefully they'll form when they're watching the play, because I have told people, hey, my parents created this flag, and I didn't know what else to say besides that. You know, like so the response will be like, cool. That's cool. But I think when you see the true meaning behind it, the minds behind it, the family that this was inspired by, I think that people draw connections to their own lives and their own families, and that helps them form a deeper relationship with the flag itself.
Yeah.
What about like the casting? Because I mean, you've got to find the right people in the scene. What was that like?
It was so interesting to like have to cast your family basically, because you have to have a good grasp on like everybody's different personalities. So we really had to choose like who could just give it, like not we have to like pull it out of them, but who just has it.
The energy. It was mostly about the energy that represents the different family members, because like one of our cousins is kind of like, we describe him in the character description as like a black vegan hippie, and then we have the like cool athletic guy, and that's kind of broad, but like it's just the people who arrived and just understood it. We were like, yeah, you're Jay, you're Lando, you know.
So how long did that entire process? I'm talking writing it, probably some revisions. You know, you got to like watch people try out for these roles. I mean, I'm assuming there's some sets being built.
Yeah. Really exciting.
How long did all of this take?
I mean, this has all been slowly coming along since that credit went missing in 2020, because we were so excited to start research that it was like we're finding more stuff and finding more stuff and finding more stuff, and we just kept building off of that.
Wow.
So it's really been happening since like December 2020 to now. Yeah.
Y'all have gone through a whole like MCU level production for this play here. This is pretty impressive stuff. I hope you all are recognizing like this is pretty impressive, like resume level impressive stuff. You can, you know what I mean? You can flex on it a little bit.
Thank you. It's such a blessing, and we're so lucky to have David White, who is kind of like our advisor. He was my advisor, the one who was like, "Oh, what are we gonna do to fill this credit?"
Yeah.
So we're so lucky to have him. The play was originated with Theater Lab, which is kind of like a playwriting workshop thing that David White, at Towson in the theater department that David White is in charge of. And so he gave us the opportunity from there to start developing the early stages of the script, and we were able to do an initial reading through that. And then Kayla applied to put it on as a student studio piece. So we had another reading last February. And it's just been really well received, which we're so grateful for and excited about. So we're excited for like the full production to come out in just a month.
Wow. I just realized it's a month. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
it's setting in now.
Yeah,
it really is. I feel like it's been happening really quick.
Really?
Like it's been kind of quick. Yeah.
This time I feel like
I mean, I'm assuming you guys are just kind of going. Are you looking forward to anything after the play weekends are done?
I'm just excited to see where the play leads next. There's so many, or where the flag goes next.
Yeah,
I say,
both.
Because, both. Both.
Yeah.
There's so many fun things that we want to do. Like we love kids, just like our parents.
Yeah.
Our mom's a teacher, so we would love to go speak to children about the play at schools, and just continue to educate people. Not the play, the flag, and continue to educate people on the flag. Perform maybe some excerpts of the play until it finds its next home.
Like a movie directed by Ava DuVernay, huh? So I want to hear from both of you all. What are you hoping people receive from watching this play? We can start here.
I really hope people leave feeling empowered and wanting to be better and to I don't know, have a better mindset that like I can be great, and it doesn't take much to do it.
Yeah, I hope that people like notice the little things about like the little moments of connection about, like you were saying, it doesn't take much to just be somebody that could listen, to be somebody who could offer a joke or a reason to smile.
Yeah, just to show that you care. Like in the play, there's a part where one of our cousins says our father, David, he would take them to go feed the ducks. Like, it doesn't have to be extravagant. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And it leaves an impression. And what are you hoping to get from this whole experience, like personally?
Ooh. I mean, this is kind of what we've always wanted, is like a connection to our father. So I already feel like just by like finishing the script, it's like, wow, we've achieved something that we've been looking for our entire lives. And so I'm just very grateful for this experience again, and seeing it on stage in the full, like having the vision come to life.
It's gonna
really hit.
Yeah. Because it's been in the making for so long. I feel like this has been in the making since the beginning, like since my birth, since 2002. You know,
totally, yeah. Because like we said, the play wrote itself. The story was unfolding in real time, and then we just discovered it and put it all together. Yeah.
Last question. Favorite memory from the recordings of your dad?
You go first.
Oh no! No,
I'm trying to think because there's a lot.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, this was like the first joke, because it was early in the video, and this is actually written in the play as well, because we took the videos and we turned them into the scenes. So the Thanksgiving scene, he's kind of like walking around and messing with all the little kids, and the kids were making homemade butter in like a mason jar, and he has this joke where he's like, say, I can't believe it's not butter. The kids have no idea what he's talking about, but he's like, hold up the butter and say, I made butter on Thanksgiving Day, and the kids are like repeating back and forth, 1995, 1995. Say, I can't believe it's not butter. It's not butter. And it's just so cute to see how he would interact with the kids and how he was cracking jokes that flew right over their heads. But I think that may be my favorite memory from the videos.
I think one of my favorite parts in the videos is when it's the blizzard of 1996. And he took all the kids they were all at our parents' house, and they were like sledding and just playing in the snow. And they built a snowman, and they named him Martin Luther King Jr. And like, I don't know, that day just like, I love watching it. Like, he really is, our mother says in the clip, like the biggest kid in the bunch. He's literally the biggest kid in the bunch. He like has a big snowball, and he like takes a big bite out of it. I'm like, why? You're a grown man. But like, I love it. Like that, I love seeing that goofy side of him.
Well, we want to thank you both for your time here. Any final thoughts that you want to give to our listeners?
Black stars can
Yeah,
shine
Black
too.
Stars can shine too. That's exactly what I was going to
You
say.
heard it here first, folks. Chloe and Kaylah, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So remind us one last time. Dates for the play.
The play 2002 is going to be at Towson March 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and then over at Morgan on March 9th and 10th.
Where can people get tickets?
You can purchase tickets now at the Towson University box office website, or I think you can go in person to purchase them.
Perfect. All right. Thank you all again for listening, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.